Most valuable and wanted U.S. commemorative stamps 2 cents. The 1909 Seward commemorative stamp. Depicted in the center. The bust of William Seward. 19th century American politician. He held various positions, including the highest office he has achieved. He was the Secretary of the United States of America for 8 years, from 1861 to 1869. Controversial political figure. He defended many cases of criminals who were accused of murder, including also to have become the first supporter and defender of a slave. Event out of the ordinary in that period. Above the bust, the writing is shown. US postage. Next to the face. The nominal value of the piece. 2 cents of the US dollar. Around his face. The written. Alaska Yukon Pacific. Name of the exhibition held in Seattle. To publicize Pacific Northwest development. Seward. He is remembered for focusing much of his career on prison reform and on improving education. Postage stamp issued on June 1, 1909. It had a circulation of 152,887,000 copies, with a 12 serration. Today it's worth $45. The 1916 George Washington commemorative stamp. Depicted in the center. The bust of the first President of the United States of America. George Washington. This piece, as you can see below, shows the nominal value. From 2 cents of the American dollar. Rate that satisfied the National First Class Postal Service. Before this issue, the stamps had the face value written in letters, and not by number. Up. The classic writing is shown. US postage. The peculiarity of this piece lies in the printing on non-watermarked paper. This is because the United States, they were close to a war economy. In Europe, the First World War had broken out, and the lower cost of paper added to the post office's savings. Postage stamp issued on September 25, 1916. It has a 10 serration. Measure remained in force due to the reduction in production costs, despite the fact that the new 11-gauge rollers were already available recently. A measure that entailed additional costs. Today a sheet printed with 6 of these pieces. It's worth $175. The 1926 Liberty Bell commemorative stamp depicts the bronze bell, which is located in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, which sounded on July 4, 1776 to rally the citizens of Philadelphia for the reading of the Declaration of Independence. Later this 950-kilogram bell. It was used on the occasion of the abolition of slavery. Up. The writing commemorating the 150th anniversary since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, with next to it the year 1776 and 1926. Anniversary of the commemoration. Bottom on the sides. The nominal value of the piece. 2 cents of the US dollar. This stamp released on May 10, 1926. It had a circulation of 307,731,000 copies. And today, a sheet of 30 printed pieces, worth up to $285. The 1927 Saratoga commemorative stamp commemorates the decisive American victory of 1777 during the American Revolutionary War by the troops of the 13 American colonies against the Anglo-German army, led by General John Burgoyne. The latter, you can see it pictured on the left, who hands over his sword to General Horatio Gates, who led the Continental Army. Symbolic gesture, which commemorates the event and the victory. Up. You will be able to see the writing. US postage. With 2 dates reported. 1777. Year of the battle. And 1927. Year of anniversary in commemoration of the 150th anniversary. Down. The nominal value of the piece. 2 cents of the US dollar. With the writing in the center. Saratoga. Which indicates the name of the US city in the state of New York. The battle. He saw 20,000 soldiers clash, with a war bulletin of 2,400 victims, and over 6,000 soldiers taken prisoner. This victory allowed the Continental Army to give itself significant momentum towards the independence of the United States. Postage stamp issued on August 3, 1927. It had a circulation of 25,628,000 copies. With an 11 serration. Today a sheet containing about 30 of these pieces. It's worth $300. The 1927 Vermont Commemorative Stamp. Depicted in the center. The portrait of Francis Samuel de Champlain. 17th century French explorer. He was the first European to explore the Vermont area. Federal state of the United States of America. Located in the New England region. Territory that it mainly served as a hunting ground for Indian tribes. Before settlement by whites. Up. You will be able to see the commemoration of the event. Down. The nominal value of the piece. 2 cents of the US dollar. Vermont was a battlefield. During the French and Indian War. Fought for 9 years. From 1754 to 1763. The war brought English control of the territory. Postage stamp issued on August 3, 1927. It had a circulation of 39,974,000 pieces. And on a sheet containing 30 of these pieces. Today it is worth $300. The 1926 White Plains Commemorative Stamp. Remember the Battle of White Plains. Fought during the Revolutionary War on October 28, 1776. Where the Continental Army, under the leadership of George Washington, clashed against William Howe's British Army. A clash of 14,000 soldiers. Where he saw the British Army win. On the center. You will be able to see a heavy artillery gun. Used around by Continental Army soldiers. With this image. Alexander Hamilton is also commemorated on this stamp. Chief of Artillery. Who strategically positioned the cannons. To allow the Continental Army to retreat. Without ending the battle. In a total defeat for his side. Above the image, the date 1776. Year in which the battle took place. To the right. 1926. Year of the 150th anniversary of the event. Down. Above the nominal value of the piece. 2 cents of the US dollar. You will be able to see on the left. The flag of the United States of America. To the right. The heavy artillery flag of the Continental Army. Postage stamp issued on October 18, 1926. It had a circulation of 40,639,000 copies. Today a sheet containing 30 of these pieces. It's worth $425.